We see the green. Hey, long riders. We're here live today to answer your questions. We'll go back and we'll look at the old questions and we'll answer them live. So we'll be right back in a second to answer some of the questions, and I'll show you how we're going to do it, and a must-have for all YouTubers. We'll be right back.
Fly-fish. Let the action begin.
Hey, long riders. We're here live. Hey, guys. Landlocked Newfie, hello again.
I'm going to turn my sound
Well,
off on my laptop.
we still seem, how do we look? We turned the camera back on resolution to try and get rid of the glitchiness. I think it's still a little glitchy. I don't know. How do you guys, what do you think? I think we got to mess around with OBS a little bit more. Sound good though? Wow, it sounds like we're peaking a little bit. We'll turn that down a little here.
I really should have put the laptop
in OBS. Now, like I said, you know, we are all you YouTubers. Landlocked Newfie, the only one here. See, it's better at 5. Oh, we got 5 people watching now. Anyway, if you're a YouTuber, on my phone here, I don't know if you can see that little orange button. That is YouTube Studio. And what's so cool about that is I could go back and read all the old comments. How's it look? Does it look glitchy or is it really funky looking? I think I gotta mess around in the...
Looks pretty good on the laptop.
We got Tracy now, Miss Tech, gonna be watching our streams on the laptop there. See how they look. See if they're real glitchy. They don't look too bad. That's good. But anyway, I could read you all your questions. Alright. The Amazing Hendrickson Nymph. There was a question on there. Love the look of that one. How deep do you fish that? That was a question by... Oh, let's see. Blake Mundell. I think that's the guy who made that comment. And nymph fishing or the wet flies. It matters, are the fish eating them as they're coming off the bottom? I think that one was the Hendrickson nymph. I'm pretty sure they come to the surface and emerge. So depends if the fish are eating them as they're trying to get to the surface to emerge, or are they eating them because they're getting loose on the bottom. Where are the fish being held at? Like, are the fish holding at like a foot off the surface? See that? How deep the fish and nymph depends on where your fish lie in the water, and that might how warm temperature the surface or water temperature is. Are they laying on the bottom, being really like, is it cold? Then they're hitting them Hendricksons that are coming off the rocks. They're not getting ready to hatch yet, so they're hitting them as they're on the bottom, you know. So you want to fish them deep. Or is their hatch almost coming off? A good thing to do is to, let's say, do a merger with a nymph about a foot. Just put a little weight on bee head nymph, and just a foot below the surface, and you got the nymph as it's coming to the surface covered. You got the emerger. If you're really brave, you can put the dry on there, and you got all 3 of them covered. And then that nymph, you could just add weight or lose weight on how much or how deep the fish are on. See, some fish will be down below the surface hitting the nymphs as they're coming up. Some will be hitting emergers, and some will be hitting them all the way on the surface. So that's how you determine basically where the fish at. You know, sometimes they're deep, sometimes they're shallow. Depends on where them fish are in the water column and how deep you fish that nymph. Same goes with that wet fly. Now remember, they on that Quill Gordon wet fly, they hatch on the bottom of the below the surface on the rocks. They hatch on the down side of a rock in a current, and then they come to the surface as an adult. That's why we did the wet fly, is almost the merger of that, because then they come to the surface of the full adult, and then they dry their wings. That's why I like that hackleless fly. I do kind of Catskills Quill Gordon, but that one where it's without hackle, where it lies right in the surface film as it's trying to dry its wings, it's kind of another stage. So you'd have 4. You'd have the nymph. You'd have the wet flies that's coming as adult. You'd have one. Excuse me. You'd have the hackleless as it's sitting on the surface drying its wings. Then you'd have the done adult Catskill style dry. Tracy has all in her box. See, she's got all the nymphs.
I'm so ready to go fishing.
She was ready to go today, but it's still a little cold and the wind's blowing like crazy, and it's like, well, we'll just stay at home and do a live stream. Yeah, we got almost everything up to I just did a video today. I didn't do any of the narration at it today, but that will be the Hendrickson Emerger. We did that one today. Like I said, I still got to edit it, but we did that one today. And I tried doing it on the Canon. You know, if I could show you the setup, I'll get a picture of it when we hit the creek. I'll take a video with my phone of the camera and then show you what it looks like. It makes us look so professional. We've been shooting everything on phones, and here we go, Ultra Pro X. I'm gonna do a video on this. I did a video on it, but I learned so much since then playing with it. I couldn't figure out how the heck you get on this one. You just plug the cord, a USB cord into it, and the videos come off. So I figured the other one should do that. So they sent me one, but it wouldn't let me take the videos off, but it let me charge it with the one they sent me. So not till I found another cord to charge. It's the same one that charges your phones. Once I used one that I had laying around to charge my phone, found out I plugged that one in, then it let me take the video off. And every time I looked at it, it said only 4 minutes or 5 minutes. I was like, this thing has been sitting here recording for an hour. Why does it say 5 minutes? And here it stops recording after every, hey Damon Drake, how's it going, bro? It records in 15-minute segments or something like that. And it freaked me out because I didn't think it was recording. I thought it was loop recording. Where loop recording records over your old recording. So every 15 minutes it records over and over and over, and it will record over top the old recording. So I got rid of that. So it's in little segments, and that'll be easy to. The new ones we got, which are in our camera case. We got a camera case. So look, yep. Ready to get on and buy a camera case. This one is our new one. Cameras we got. All in the thing of bringing you new video, your videos better. These are 4K. Yes. We'll probably shoot them in 1080 for the most part, because you know, I get all excited about 4K until I realize you got to get a 4K monitor, and people have to have a 4K monitor to watch it. And trust me, I tried watching 4K on my monitor. It's not a 4K monitor, and it looks like crap. So, yeah, let's go back to the questions. You guys have any questions? Come on, man. There's 9 of you watching. Let's get some questions going on. Let's be interactive, man. You can only ask, you know. We got a new service that's coming up where you'll be able to sponsor one of these live streams. I think it'll be, I don't know what we're going to set that. We get to set that. What do you think? How much you think you should charge to sponsor a whole live stream? Where you mention your name about 1,000,000 times. Heck, if you have a company or something you want to sponsor one, we'll put your logo right here. Yeah, I can do that the whole live stream. Or if you want your name sponsored by. Yeah. And here's the thing, it's kind of like to do a good job to keep video quality. I think what I'm going to try and do, I don't know, you probably know more about this Damon Drake than I do, is compressing. I don't know, I think your GoPros do it too. They shoot down into 1 or 2K and then compressing it in 1080. I heard that makes a better quality than just shooting in 1080. Well, that's what I'm going to try and do. Plus I got, with the 4K or the 2K, I got more in editing with color grading. It seems like you probably have more control in color grading. We'll see. I might just end up shooting all on 1080. It'll shoot better in 1080 than the old cameras did, though. It'll still be a better quality video. And we'll be shooting a lot with the Canon. I got a mic that we're using, so I hope I don't blow your ears out, but I'll try to see if I can move it without. If all of a sudden my camera turns off, I'll have to do a review on this camera for any. Oh, I can't move it. It's kind of keeping the camera in its place. But I got a shotgun mic. I did a lot of comparison, and they compared $300 mics to $27 mics, and I got the 27 and I love it. I'm impressed. So, you know, I'll be able to talk more and do more instruction, and you'll be able to see. You know, you don't know how hard that is to do with a phone. It just sucks. Oh, the Canon. Best thing. I'm telling you, man. It's hard for me to shell out a lot of money for stuff. You know, my rods are. I like to be happy in saying that. Whoa, hold on a second. We're gonna go back out. We went red. We're gonna stop the stream and start it back up again. See if that goes back to green. Yeah, there we go. Maybe that'll help. But anyway, yeah, I want to make you better videos. You guys, anybody come up with any questions? But yeah, I shelled out way over 1,000 Damon Drake on the Canon, but man, is it going to improve our fishing videos? It's going to improve our live streams. It's going to, I mean, now you got the sound. You probably could tell the difference in the sound and the video quality of our live streams compared to the old using webcams or not using this to record video and only action cams and phones. Not to mention the nature that we get to see on the creek. Trying to record that with a phone and zooming in across the creek. Oh, can you hear me that, baby? Because when I got my Canon, I got a kit lens, and I think that's 18 to 35 millimeter. Damon Drake, and this is kind of for you, but we'll only talk this. We'll go back to fishing in a second. But I just wanted to show you guys this. This is going to make this puppy. Now that is a big old whopping lens. That will let us shoot out across the creek. It's got the manual focus. This bad puppy is going to be our friend when it comes to fishing videos. When there is a otter, you don't know all the stuff we missed out fishing, you know. Not to mention the storytelling and not be able to show you guys the zoomed up close effect or zoom in of bugs and stuff. And on the top of my lenses, I also got micro caps so I can shoot and show you a close up of bugs. Everything. So we're ready to shoot, babe. We're ready to fish. To bring you guys some good stories and some good times on the water.
There you go. You got a question.
Now, Damon, you gotta be a little gentle on me, man. I'm not quite understanding what you asked me that. I am just starting to become a camera geek. Looking at that, the back of this Canon, kind of reminds me of a space shuttle. I'm kind of like, don't know everything, but I think, yeah, okay. We aren't getting a micro lens. We're getting, it's like a magnifying cap that goes on the end of the lens that will let us get closer. We didn't try, and there's coming with a set of 4, which will let us get the lens closer to the subject. Like you'll see, the next tying video I tied, I used the Canon without it, and we're pretty far away from the fly. You know, you can see it, it's really clear, but yet you were kind of a little too far away from me. I would like to get the camera closer, and that's what this lens filter will do. Yeah, I looked into Nikons on, yeah, right. That's not happening. Can I have a light? The Canons are so much better with lens choices, and we ain't talking fishing much, we're talking cameras. But hey, that's what Damon wants to talk about. He's our main person that's talking. Anybody else want questions for us, we'll answer your fishing questions, but I guess, yes, right now, Damon, the aperture setting is on auto, because when I turn it down on the lowest aperture setting that's not auto, it's 100, and it becomes too dark, which I haven't figured out to straighten that out in white balance yet. So I'm still learning a lot about that. So basically we're setting everything on the Canon is at auto. I played with taking pictures with manual focus, but I haven't took video with manual focus. I'll probably keep that in auto, because when you're on autofocus, I hit the screen and it automatically will track and stay on focus on whoever it's focused on at that time. So if Tracy's fishing, watching me fish, she could click on me and I'll stay in focus whether I get closer to the camera or further away, whatever. And that's gonna really make our fishing videos really nice. Yes, I know, I gotta learn more about lighting, I got a lot more to learn. Hey man, you know what? The more I learn, the better the videos get, and you get to see our progress, as long as you're subscribed. Alright, let's go back to try and find a fishing question so that everybody doesn't leave, because me and Damon are all talking about cameras. Like our lighting in this right now isn't so great. Oh, I had a comment about lemon wood duck. I don't know. I got yelled at because it's, excuse me, it's dyed mallard to look like lemon wood duck. Okay, if you want to use real lemon wood duck, to me it doesn't make much of a difference. But to some people, they gotta fit. Do you want my honest opinion, what I have to say about that? If you come to my channel and you're like, you know, that's dyed mallard, flank feather, or whatever, and it's not what you say it is, and you're anal, I tell you, just don't subscribe. We do a lot of top flies here that you won't find in a pattern book. So if you're going to come here and be anal, you know, you can't say, hey, you didn't tie that tail on, you tied that tail too long, when I made up the fly. You're going to tell me I can't tie something that I created? But hold on, we got to go back out where we're red again. Let's give it a shot. Yes, effective lighting. Hey, just one more question before we go into another tying question. I got to tell you, Damon, about something I seen. So cool. It automatically figures out the ceiling or the wall, what's the best reflective lighting, and then no matter where you move in the room, it hits that same surface at different angles to get the best lighting for the picture. It's pretty wild. It is wild. But anyway, back to questions about fly fishing. What first day here? Probably tomorrow. Which it wasn't tomorrow because that's today. We didn't go fishing. Everybody loves a new camera. And they love the simplicity. I got a video out there. I'm going to have to redo it because after I watched it, I'm like, no matter people got on my comment about the white streamer that got 50,000 views. That is in the book. I got to review the book again. But yeah, it's to Blake model. I think that's model. Just PA. I have never fished anywhere but PA with the fly rod. When I was a kid, we used to go other places, but that was with bait rods. I was a bait fisherman till 14. And then I got into fly fishing, started taking fly tying classes at a courthouse for free in our area, which made me want to be a YouTuber. When I found out I can make tying videos and put them up for free, just like somebody gave me free tying classes, I was all about it. So that's why we do. And the fishing videos are just fun. We're just running cameras while we're fishing, trying to tell you about how we made out that day, you know. And I know in our fishing videos we got to bring more tech, telling you, are you going to talk at all during this live stream?
We haven't asked me any questions.
Somebody asked Tracy a question, so she gets to talk this live stream. But yeah, just basically Pennsylvania. Sorry, I like my cigars doing my live stream. I know, almost 50 years old and still smoke cigars. One of these days, I guess I should quit. But anyway. What? Okay, also good topic. In general, when is the best time to nymph / dry fly / emerger fish season / month wise? Now that Damon Drake, that is an interesting question because that is all depends. Tracy can't answer that for you.
I'm very
Tracy's
new
been
to
fly fishing for like a minute. Alright, so now, yeah, tech questions, no. You want to ask Tracy why the heck she started fishing or what? But yeah, no, she can't. Now look, best time to nymph. Morning, when there ain't no bugs on the surface. Dry fly, when you see the flies in the air, up above you, and they're coming down to the water and hitting the water, or as you see them taking off of the surface and you see the fish rising. Mergers is when you see the fish barely breaking the surface, like they're sipping, they're probably taking emergers, or they're tailing. That's when they're taking emergers, and that depends on the time of the day. Like I said, dry flies will be late evening. We've had fished up to where we can't even see our flies anymore because there's fish are still engorging them, just golfing dry flies off the surface like crazy. So, you know, that's all in what time of the, you know, that's every day. Depends on what's going on when you get there. Not time of year, not time of the month. It's all about what's happening when you get there. I've been there where they, you know, in the mornings, and they're like, there ain't going to be no dry fly action. And there's a major sulfur hatch going on. Or the best one is when you go out and they're golfing themselves on caddises. Because caddises seems like they're always there, but they really hit mayflies when they're there. But sometimes in the morning, There's no mayfly hatches. There might be spinners in the very, very morning, and that would be your spinner fall. Or late at night when they're coming down on the surface, like I said, and they're doing one of these numbers, and they're really dark fly, and then they hit the surface. That's spinner fall when they're dying. And that's really late at night, most times. Now, Tracy was catching them on the spinners, what was that, 2 hours before daylight? Or
No.
dark, I mean, 2 hours before
yeah.
dark. It was funny. We were catching fish, and we were out in the middle of the creek, and she says, look, there's one there's one hitting surface flies about 2 feet from the bank, and really little deep, shallow water.
And it was
behind
behind
her.
me, yeah.
And I was like, probably a chub. She goes, oh, whatever, and she threw it to it, and it took the fly the first time through. Wham! She hooked it up, and it was a nice little brookie. Very pretty. Probably been in there for quite a while, if not born there. Well, actually, you could say native, because that's the felony trout, I think, native to PA. Clean cameras was getting hard to type, and what? Thanks, Blake. I'm trying some clink hammers.
Damon is tying flies, and Blake asked you a question.
What fly rod setups do you both use? Rod, line, reel, etc. We use cheap reels because it's nothing but to hold your line. We use 4-weight, 10-foot, 2-piece with 4-weight line. And we just use, she just uses a standard 4-weight float forward.
I use whatever you give me.
And that's basically what I use. Floating, standard, weight forward, floating. I never usually really got into much of the, you know, different lines and different tips. I don't know. Maybe it's just because I was brought up on the standard stuff, and that's what I've been fishing for years. For me, I grew up on Indian necks, and I don't know if anybody knows what that is, but you want to try not building up bulk in a thorax area when you have to tie on 4 feathers to tie a dry. That's something else. Jake's tying while watching this. Good, man. What's your questions as you're tying? Maybe we can help you out. Waiting for Gary to show up, who is going to sponsor, I think, our next live stream, and I think it's going to be Team Hanging Outdoors. We could say that they sponsored this one, but I'm sure that Michael is going to want to know when he's sponsoring the live stream so he can watch it to see his name all over a live stream. So I'll have to get a hold of him, but he's going to be doing the sponsoring of next Sunday's show. Is that a net? You can recommend any brands. Only I don't even know who my brand makes my net. I just know what you want is rubber. Trust me. How about it, Trace?
Oh yes, flies get stuck in them other nets very easily, and it sucks.
Yeah, it sucks. And when you're if you're fishing more than one nymph, do not get anything but rubber. Trust me. And make it barbless. Right on. I love Damon Drake said he UV finished his. She just got a UV fingernail polish, so they got a big, huge UV light. So now I got to go back online and get UV because I'm out of UV. That's why I haven't been using it in the time videos. But it's great to do cover your hackles, you know, like your Quill Gordons, and then you take that UV and cover it up, and then harden it. And man, because you know, you just use the quills. Like I still like just using quills. I'm an old style person, but I don't hardly ever hit it with UV. So that's, you know, but it makes it definitely, because a fish is not teeth so very much. But them little jaggy things in their mouth, I guess you'd call them teeth, but real teeny, they will cut up that quill quicker than heck, and next thing you know, you have to tie another fly on. But I don't know, just something about coating that just I don't know. Guess I'm an old school person, but. Oh, clink hammer hook. I was like, what the heck is he talking about? Yeah, it must be a hook. It's a hybrid fly. Oh, dude, you guys gotta start recording these flies. You know what I mean? Record them babies for me. Get yourself a webcam. I'm like, well, yes, I do use. I was gonna say I am using mine. I'll send you mine, but no. Which I still am having. Sorry about you guys. The guy that won the rod. I'm still having a hard time finding a tube. I still got to try and hit up the UPS in this area, but I got to find a tube. I mean, they got tubes, but they're like paper. How about it?
Yeah.
And I'm like, now he's shipping this in paper. I'll drive it to wherever the guy lives first before I send this in paper to him. This old rod. So maybe if anybody could come up with an idea where I could find rod tubes so I could ship this rod out to the guy who won it. It's all back. It's out there in my room out there. And it's in the tube, in the sock, all ready to ship. But I don't know. I'm finding a hard time finding shipping tubes that I trust. Mega worms, no. Don't even know what a mega worm is. Sorry. Yeah, she loves it. She loves them. What's the two worms we use?
Oh, the squirmy wormy.
The squirmy wormy, and there's another one too, right?
Oh, yeah.
Squirmy wormy. Yeah. Squirmy wormy.
I don't know. It's green.
Here's a message to all tires out there. We have a lot of creeks in Pennsylvania that are stocked. Okay? If you want to go out and just have a good time with stocked fish, tie your flies bright in purples and chartreuses. I mean, go back and look at my, I think I have one. If I don't, I'm going to have to make it. I'll have to go back and look and just throw it in between these flies. Just throw one in. Psycho prints in purple. Man, they kill them on these stock fish. You know? Just slay them all day long. How about it, Trace? You stand in one spot and just slay them, don't you?
Yeah, yeah.
Like, I don't think I know exactly where my box is. I covered it. The last one I did that wasn't in this series was just a bunch of dubbing wrapped behind a bead. Wait. Because you know what? They look like a mop fly. You want to tie a mop fly without tying a mop fly? Make a dubbing loop. Tie no tail in. Dub your favorite dub up to a bead. Tie it off. Finish it. You're done. Looks like a mop fly. Same principle. You can do it in ice dubbing. You can have any color in ice dubbing mop fly you want. Basically, it's a mop fly.
You got a couple more questions there.
Oh, I got some questions. Triangle box from UPS tape together 2 ship rods. Tape 2 together 2 ship rods. Triangle box though, man. I have it in a sock. I was thinking about trying to hit up the Blue Herring and see if they've had any tubes that they got when they order Orvis rods get shipped to them or something. You know, maybe they'd sell me one or something. Heaviest fish I caught. Wow, I wouldn't.
I don't know. We don't weigh them.
Yeah, I don't know. That's a good question. I caught a monster 10, 11 years ago on a fly rod using no strike indicator in deep water and fishing it deep and snagging the bottom, and I hooked into one there and I brought it in. I have a picture of that. Becca was only like 5 years old. She's 18 now, so yeah, it was about 13 years ago. Man, that was huge. I never thought. If you want to talk about, I've hooked some that I could never get up. You know, I snapped off 8.5 pound test, a 3X or 4X, 9-pound test trying to reel big browns in off Penns Creek. I had one, what was that, 2 years ago, I think we were fishing, and one took me to the bottom and just could feel it shake its head till it snap, or the fly comes out. They get rid of the fly, shake their heads, you can't budge them. And I know there's monsters in there in Penns Creek that I've hooked into. I had one a couple years ago, or that was last year. I hooked into one and it was really cold. Or right about this time of the year, we went up to Penns Creek into the fly stretch and was fishing up there. And I thought I was snagged, so I pulled my line in and just tugged it quick to snap off the fly from the bottom. And I just kept coming. I was like, oh, it must have came off. Next thing you know, this big fish is right at my feet and takes off. There goes the line out of my hands, whizzz, out across the creek, and then it hit the freaking drag and rod caught and snap. And I thought it was stuck and it left loose, but here it was, the fish was just coming right at me. It was crazy. £19 pike. Now that's something we would like to get into, the muskies. We're trying to hook up with a kayak, or maybe we're just gonna buy two cheap kayaks to get into it, because we'll do more fishing on the bank. It'll just be from getting point A to point B. But we're thinking about taking them out in the river and doing some pike fishing or muskie fishing. We don't know which one yet, but so we're gonna be asking everything about that. But a 19-pound pike, yeah, that's something else. That's got to be a blast. And what pound? Hey, Newfie, what pound rod did you have? Or weight rod did you have? Sorry. 8 weight, 9 weight, 10 weight. I don't, Damon. You're gonna have to tell me how you guys catch carp. Because where I come from, around here, the only thing I've ever seen catch carp, excuse me, baby, was how's our live stream look?
Looks pretty good.
Looks pretty good. You guys think it looks okay? Carp in ripples. I had never caught a carp. You know, it's like I've ever seen people catch carp on bait rods, fishing dough balls in the river. You know, I don't know how you guys do it on the fly rod. £12 tippet. I'm telling you, I gotta try this. You gotta teach me. You gotta start telling me how you guys catch carp on a fly rod. I gotta give this a try. There is hundreds of carp, only about 300 yards from my house, because the creek that flows right there. If I could knock this wall out right here, I'd be 10 feet from the creek. You know, and then this creek flows down about 300 or 400 yards down and meets into the river. They're supposed to be loaded with freaking muskies and stuff that come up there to eat this trout when they stock them. I've been hearing. So we're gonna do some brook trout patterns and some rainbow trout patterns and go down there and yes. Do that, man. Take that GoPro, shoot video. Hey, man, if you don't want to use it, you can send it to me, raw video to me somehow, and I can put it up. If you don't mind. If not, you can just send it to me and I'll keep it private. But if you want to set it up, man. Is that for carp? Olives 12 and 6 woolly buggers. For carp, slow strip for carp. Well, you're still talking about the. Is that for carp? Olive woolly buggers? Hell yeah, man! Send me raw videos, man. You know, we don't have to be hanging out next to each other to do collab videos, everybody. If you guys want to do a collab video with us, send us footage, man, and we'll, heck, maybe we'll go fishing for whatever you're fishing for your video and be like, you know, we'll give it a shot. See how we make out fishing for whatever you are, or whatever you are, if you're fishing a small creek or big river, whatever, man. We can do collab videos that way. That's a blast, man. It's your channel too, man. You want to record video and send it to us, do it. For carp, that's nuts. Only buggers for carp. Huh. I have a big empty voided space now that Tracy ain't here. The cool thing is I get to watch. She just bought a laptop. So I get to watch the laptop to see how our streams look. They don't look too bad. Still a little glitchy. I got to figure that out. I think that's on the OBS. Maybe Damon Drake can help me out with that. You know, and it's all about these cameras, man. You can help me out figuring out why my... It's in the camera. Excuse me. It's definitely in the connection between camera and OBS. Because I see it in the OBS studio before it even streams to you guys. So I know it's in there, and I have to straighten it out in there, and that in turn will make our live streams less glitchy. Because I think it's in the settings on OBS. Damon Drake said you ran off to try the carp trick real quick.
No, I'm having a low blood sugar episode, like really bad.
Tracy has type 1 diabetes and has to wear an insulin pump, and her sugar got low, so she had to go eat some sugar. She was sick all day yesterday. She couldn't go to work. She stayed in bed, puking, and it was bad. So that's another reason we didn't go today, because we don't want her to get any sicker. Need more speedy USB bus on the computer. USB 3 would help that. Alright. Dad used that as an excuse too. That's a good one. I'm so glad that we figured out the super chat over here so you guys can read what people are saying on the replay. Oh, Damon Drake said his dad used his type 1 diabetes as an excuse to go fishing. She does. She'll say, hey, my blood sugar's high, man. We got to burn off some of this sugar. We got to go fishing and walk around. That's funny.
It works.
It does work. This is my favorite videos, I think, to produce, is what you're talking to you guys.
Yeah, sorry, I don't
live
see you
stream.
on camera, but, yeah.
You know, it's fun. I just wish, you know, we got more people asking questions. Let's go and see if we can find another question on Creator Studio. I don't think Gary's going to come to the studio tonight. I think he's scared. That yarn, the video I made today, that they said the floating yarn, it's a poly yarn. I didn't really know what the name of it is, but my next video, I show you a picture of it. I use white, but the bag says brown, but you know, whatever. It's the same yarn. I got it in brown, black, and white. That yarn, I like that better than doing the deer hair for the wings. It's less bulky. It really floats. Man, it's hard to sink, ain't it, baby? Mm-hmm. And I just like the way that sits without down in the water surface for a different dry fly look. But it's just a synthetic floatable yarn. I had her today at Walmart. Looking at all this stuff. They like, you know, they use like a white material for a veil on wedding dresses. While we're at Walmart looking at all this material, and I'm going to go get me some of this material and show you how you can make wings out of this material, because there is so much cool material at Walmart you could use for wings. I'm probably going to go to Verna's, there's a fabric store in the area too, and look over there because they probably got more They just like, everybody likes the improvement on the videos for the HD cameras. I'm sorry, yeah, we never made it to Lancaster. Somebody asked me where we were at the fly show was a question. Sorry I'm looking down, but I'm looking at questions, old questions. Yes. I totally, if you're getting for this, there's a comment here from Tom. Or no, it's from David. Villy X. If you're it says, Tom, if you're just starting out fly tying, I have one suggestion. Pick a fly you want to tie and fish. Get the recipe, gather them materials, and tie that fly. You perfect it, then move on to another. That's a good way to do. If you're just getting started, try like the woolly buggers or the Griffiths gnats and learn to tie them, get them down. Pick out one you think is going to be successful. Woolly buggers one. There's one. Okay, then you want a nymph, beadhead pheasant tail. Catches fish constantly. You know, try that one. Perfect that one. Then you know, you take that one to another level after you get the tie and the standard pheasant tail good. Add a flash down the thorax of that fly. Make it a flashback pheasant tail. You know, just start with that pattern. Get good at that pattern. Fish it. Get confidence in your fly. Catch a couple fish. Go back, pick another pattern that you think is going to be deadly. Tie that. Fish it. Catch some fish. Get positive. That gives you a positive outlook on your tying. You're like, look, I am learning this pattern. It's catching fish. And listen, if someone says, hey man, you're doing something totally wrong, but you're tying flies and catching fish, that's the goal. Who cares if you're, you know, if you're tying a fly, catching fish, ain't that the goal? I didn't know the goal was to make the perfect fly that everybody would see a picture of and go, ah, that's not the goal. The goal is to catch fish. And the goal is to tie a fly that will catch fish. Not to impress your neighbor. If you're tying flies to impress your neighbor, you're at the wrong channel. We're not here to tie flies to impress your neighbor. We're here to tie flies that catch fish and that produce results. Looking at new materials that make them results better. Do we understand that? Not to be perfect. I am nowhere near perfect. I am not at Lancaster Fly Show as a pro tyer, man. I know I tie fish. Or flies. I don't tie fish. You could tie a fish, a streamer. Look at rainbow trout. Anyway, but you can tie a fly and catch a fish with it. That's the whole goal. And you accomplished your goal. And get good at this one, move to the next. Get good at this one, move to the next. Oh, here comes Tracy back. Hobby Lobby or Michael's, fine yarn, fray it out, get some WD-40, spray on it, treat it. That will waterproof and coat it for floating. Yes, it will, and so will Static Guard.
Gary said he's on his way.
So Gary's on his way. Well, Gary's going to be not part of it. He might get to say hi to y'all, but he's going to be like walking in and we'll be ending the stream because we don't really want to go for an hour. But, I'm glad you guys are all watching this. If you're still here on the replay, thank you. And I love these guys. These guys giving us WD-40 is great. Yes, WD-40 is great for cleaning your guns, loosening that stubborn lug nut, and making things float. I love WD-40. Or we call it wizard piss. For wings, yes. I never used Static Guard. I think the dubbing I have is treated with floating thing, and the yarn, like I said, floats. Deer hair, of course, is naturally floating. So I never sprayed Static Guard or anything on my dry flies. I use, oh my gosh, I can't think of the name of the float coating we use. Gink is the one we like most. We've had many. Or I like the gel, the stuff that's kind of really thick, to wipe on my tippets to make my tippet float. We like a floating tippet, not a sinking tippet. Hard to mend your fly with your tippet underneath the water. But I will be teaching you stuff like that this year on fishing videos, because you'll actually be able to see me and look and see what I'm doing, which was kind of impossible before the upgrade on our equipment. What? Device, truck, device.
He's talking about WD-40.
You're gonna put it on ice and drink it. Yeah. Okay, guys, getting a little crazy. Maybe we should end this live stream. Drinking WD-40. Yuck. I got that crap sprayed in my mouth when Tracy misses the bolt. Tom, what's up? We talked a lot more about cameras. We talked a little fishing. Go watch the replay, though. We're trying to improve all our videos for you. Do I use two tippet rings? Yes, we do. Tracy loves tippet rings.
They're my best friend.
So, yeah, she's constantly always using them. I think I need to pick you some more up, actually. Don't I?
Yeah.
Because then we tie it at the end of a tippet, where it goes through to the thick part of a tippet. We'll cut that off there, put a tippet ring on, and I'll tie her tippet back on. And when she gets to that tippet ring, she could just add the 3X to the 4X at the very tip of the tippet.
You got some more comments in there.
No. Alright, Todd, you take it easy. We'll keep rocking. You keep watching. And we'll be bringing you a fishing video real soon. I think our buddy Gary, the sponsor of the live stream, shows up late. Why don't you come over here and move, and we'll have Gary sit down. Gary's here now. He gets to talk to everybody. We'll have him sit down and talk briefly about what he does. Gary, come here, buddy. And here he is, the one and only true sponsor of today's live stream, Gary, the newsstand at the Watchatown Flea Market. Everybody, yeah, just give him a round of applause. Yay. Well, sit down, Gary, and say hi to everybody. Gary, everybody. Oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. We got a little bit of technical difficulties here.
Sorry, folks.
Okay, Gary, you got to lean in here. You got. Oh.
You gotta move.
There's Gary.
Hello,
Everybody see Gary. There's Gary.
Hello.
He's one of our sponsors. He's been selling us tripods and all kinds of gear for like way cheaper than he should. But he has a stand where he sells stuff at a flea market every Sunday. He just came from there at his stand, and we'll put links on a lot of our videos, especially this one later on. We'll go down and put a link, and you can check it out in the replay. Go check out what he does and the stuff he has to sell. We are trying to get Gary into doing live streams from the flea market to show you what he has. You know, we're all about live streams right now. We are trying to work out, and we think we're going to keep it here for simplicity that we have with YouTube already and going live. Otherwise, we'd have to go to Facebook and learn a new Facebook procedure. So we're going to try to get Trout Unlimited talking into keeping it here, or maybe we're going to have to go to a different YouTube, which would be Trout Unlimited Live. But what we're going to do
You're in the red.
Oh, well. We're almost done. We are going to live stream Trout Unlimited meetings. That's right, working with Trout Unlimited to live stream their meetings for people that can't make it. You know, there's people that are, maybe they fell at work and they've been off work for 2 weeks. They can't go to the Trout Unlimited meeting. What do? They watch us live. So the first couple live streams of the next meeting, I think, is at the 21st. We're going to try via the new computer. We got to get rid of hold of the hotel where they have the meetings to make sure we got internet there, you know. And then we'll go live, and you'll be able to watch the meeting live here. And we'll figure out, work with Trial Limited, how we can let everybody on Trial Limited know. But that's just kind of like one thing we want to do, is bring the people that can't make it. You know, it's just going to be a free service. We're just going to say, hey, you can't make the meeting, here you go. Every meeting. And the cool thing is, if they missed the meeting and they didn't watch it, they could go back on Friday and watch it, or Saturday and watch the meeting, and get all the information from the meeting. That is, I think, will be a cool service that we provide to Trout Unlimited. I think that'll be great, and I think they think it's going to be great, and we'll be talking to them. I'd like to cover more than right now. Our chapter is, oh my word, I can't think of it. Not Halfway Dam. What do they really call that?
R&B Winter.
R&B and Winter chapter. So we'd like to get with maybe Talagothan. I can't even say that word. Talagothan chapter, which would be like a Pine Creek. I think that's the name of their chapter. And see if their meetings are a different day of the week. And maybe, I don't know. I wouldn't mind driving up an hour drive to go to their meetings. You know, unless it runs into the same speakers that are on all of the meetings. Then we'll drive all up there to cover the same speakers we did at the one here. But we'll see. We're working with Trial Limited, and bringing that will be a really cool thing we could do. I want to do for Trial Limited. Yeah. And the people of Trial Unlimited. Really good organization.
You had a question here. Kinda.
Springs and tides, yellow breaches yesterday. Didn't catch anything that's bigger, heavier water than I'm used to. There has a hatch coming off, but not sure what it was. About size 22 or so, light colored. Right. Was it midge, or was it a really small blue-winged olive? I'm not sure. See, that's why I used to use the pictures of the fly, but I don't know. I want to start taking the pictures myself. You know, not using free footage pictures or whatever. And that'll be something we can do with the new macro lens filters, is take pictures of like a bug that lands on Tracy's hand so close that you'll be, be able to see every detail of it. And that'll be a really cool thing to be able to do, you know, to show you all you guys what they actually look like, so that when you see the bug, you can, oh, that's a blue-winged olive. Donnie showed me that. You know what I mean? But yeah, size 22. I would think that was a midge, but midge is pretty dark. Midge is almost like a gnat type looking, you know. So. Yeah, so it was probably size 22 olive. Yeah, they get small. They go to size 24. I don't know if any of you guys ever tie on size 24s, but wow. That's small. You know when a size gnat is like a 22 that you usually see? 24 is very small. Alright guys, well, I think that's about it. We got Gary here.
Yep.
See Gary. This is Gary. You got to go see him at the Watsontown Flea Market. He's got some kick-butt stereo equipment, records, all kinds of cool stuff. Go see him, because he's been a sponsor of this channel since the beginning. So it's Gary on Facebook at the Watsontown Flea Market. The newsstand, right? Is it still listed as that?
Yep, it's actually the newsstand.
Newsstand at the Watsontown Flea Market on Facebook. Go check him out. Check out his stand. He's got some really cool stuff. You're going to want to go check it out. You really will. And tell him we sent you. We'll work with Gary on getting you a discount. Maybe a 10% discount if you say we sent you. Hey, try it. You know, you might feel lucky that day. Who knows? He might give you 20. Who knows? Depends how he feels.
Maybe we get 50.
Yeah, you don't know. Yeah. You don't know. You have to ask him that day, but you tell him we sent you and get your everything fly fishing discount and see what kind of mood he's in. All right, you guys. Nice. In Adams County, the Conowiga. Oh, that's the one down by Mike. Ain't it the Cono? Is that the trophy trout water? Or not trophy trout water?
That's no.
No, it's not it.
No, that's not it.
Okay, hey, you guys, I will check you all later. Thanks for being here. We passed our 1 hour streaming limit. It's time for us to get out of here and go hang out with Gary and see how his Watchtown Flea Market thing went today. And you all go check him out. Give him a good Sunday next Sunday. Everybody, go check him out in the area. I'll see you all later. Keep your lines wet. Out of the trees and only give them fish a sore lip.